If you're a new business owner looking to stay organized and increase your productivity, then stay tuned. Because today we're diving into the world of time management and looking into tools and techniques that you can use to maximize your efficiency. My name is Jocelyn and I'm the founder of ACE, and throughout creating my own business whilst juggling a full-time job as well as everything in life, I have picked up a lot of things and realized that time is of the essence. Running a new business can be exciting, but it can have its challenges as well. But unlike having a job where you only have one role, when you're creating your own business, you are wearing many hats and you have many roles, including the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the marketing director, all the way down to customer service. And so it's so crucial to have a solid time management system in place. So let's explore some proven techniques and handy tools that you can use to maximize your valuable time. And first things first, prioritization. The more you have on your plate, the more important it is to prioritize. As a new business owner, you're more likely to have a never-ending to-do list, but not all tasks are created equally. So really, it's really important for you to learn how to prioritize the tasks that actually align with your business goals and what you're trying to achieve that time and that day. A really good method is something like the Eisenhower Matrix, where you basically categorize tasks based on urgency and importance. Depending on what the task is and what you're trying to achieve at that point in time, you can then tap into the different areas. But generally, if you're firefighting, look for the ones that are urgent and important and needs doing right now. Because some may have a deadline but not be important, and some may be important and don't have a deadline. Which goes on to the second technique, and that is time blocking. I personally really don't like to-do lists because, as I said before, to-do lists are generally never ending. And even if you start crossing things off, you're probably adding more onto the list before you even take anything off, which basically makes it really discouraging because you're constantly looking at a never-ending list. And when you don't feel you've accomplished anything, you start to lose and lack motivation. So I personally really like to time block, and that is blocking the time for that specific task or that specific outcome that I want to achieve. I make sure I put down time that's not flexible for me. So for example, my full-time job, and then work around the rest of the time and use that time efficiently and block out time for what I want to achieve in terms of my business and everything else. And although multitasking may seem to be a good thing, we now know, and research tells us, that when we multitask, we're not giving our task at hand 100% of our efforts, and that really we should be focusing on one thing at a time. But when there's emails, marketing, creating content, product development, it's really hard to actually decide what to do. And that is why time blocking is so important, because you make sure you give every part of the business time for itself. And so one, you make sure you do a good job, and two, you don't get distracted. And a really great way to help with distraction is something called the Pomodoro Technique, which is actually used for a lot of uni students and studying, but I think it works really well for productivity as well. It's a very simple and effective time management method that allows you to concentrate on the task at hand. So here's how it works. So you work on a task for about 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. Repeat this cycle 4 times, and then at the end of it, take an even longer break between 25 to 30 minutes. As we know, all of us have a certain amount of attention span, and when it goes out of that, our productivity decreases. And so this technique allows us to then concentrate and maximize our attention span to the best of our ability. It allows us to focus on the task at hand, but also factors in breaks so that we're able to come in and out and reset ourselves quickly and be efficient. Now, as a new business owner, it's understandable to try and want to do everything yourself. And at the beginning, you probably have to, but try and think of ways that you can probably delegate to others if you can. Because as things build, trying to do everything can not only lead to inefficiency, but also burnout. So if you're not at the stage whereby you can hire anyone, try and delegate and outsource a team to help. Places you can look at include Fiverr, and I'm personally not affiliated with them, but they're a great place to look for outsourcing. And of course, your business isn't just the only place that you can outsource. You can outsource things for your life as well, like hiring cleaners, getting someone to cook for you, etc. A good way to look at what tasks to delegate is firstly, what are you good at? Play to your strengths and delegate your weaknesses. Secondly, look at any tasks that take up a lot of your time but have minimal productivity. In terms of productivity tools, there are a lot of time management apps out there, and I'm happy for you to try any of those that you want to, that suits you. I personally don't look and use time management apps. I keep it really, really simple, maybe because I'm old school, I don't know, but I tend to just like my phone and my computer, and the apps that I use are just basically Google Calendar and Notes. I try and review my week every Sunday evening, and then I try and review every single day moving forward the night before. This allows me to make sure I don't miss what I'm not supposed to miss, but also allows me to be flexible and realign things if things come out along the way. And for my note space, I basically just use it as a mind dump. If there's any ideas or any things that I need to remember, I automatically put it down on my phone or on paper, because this thing here doesn't remember everything clearly, and you can forget things the more you try and store in it. So I tend to try and dump as quickly as possible, whether that is scheduling it in on my Google calendars if something comes up, or actually just putting it down on the notes page so I come back to it when I have time. Another good tip for time management is actually to set an alarm when you're focusing on a task. When you set an alarm, it creates a sense of urgency. And us humans, we tend to get motivated when there's a sense of urgency. So create that sense of urgency for yourself by setting an alarm so that you're actually focused on the task at hand and not want to actually get distracted and do other things. So yeah, I hope these techniques and tools helped you, whether you're a new business owner or someone just looking to increase your productivity. This is for you. But really the important thing to remember is that you need to look after yourself, and just running a business and being busy and not looking after yourself will just lead to disaster. So if you found this video helpful, do give it a thumbs up, and if you're interested in my journey with Ace, do subscribe and follow the vlog section. I tend to like to vlog everything and try and keep things transparent, but when things aren't happening, there's not much of an update, I tend to like to make these deep dive videos on new businesses, tips and tricks, etc. So do subscribe if you're interested, and also if you have any productivity hacks or time management hacks, do share it down below. And until the next one, I'll see you then. Bye!